What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So there's been a lot happening in the private server community, but more in particular with TurtleWoW. Now, I'm assuming you've probably already heard that Blizzard have launched a rather extensive lawsuit against the private server team after it was alleged that the team was making millions on their classic WoW IP. Now, I've been covering it over on my Twitter and plan to do so when the updates take place, so please head over there and give it a follow. Despite facing this massive lawsuit from Blizzard, TurtleWoW have no plans to stop what they're doing as they continue to release content, and are even working on some pretty impressive and peculiar projects. Now, none come more interesting than what TurtleWoW is describing as WoW 2.0. So in case you didn't already know, TurtleWoW's WoW 2.0 is basically the original vanilla WoW client fully replicated in Unreal Engine 5. Now, this is something that they've been working on for nearly 2 years now, and from what very limited footage and screenshots we've seen, it looked at least a little impressive. Well, a couple of days ago, TurtleWoW released their very first internal alpha gameplay footage, and it was interesting, to say the least. Now, let's get something out of the way nice and early, okay? Yes, this is alpha footage. In fact, it's internal alpha footage, all right? Okay, we're good. Okay, that's all clear? Great, because what they showed off was actually horrible. Well, visually, it was horrible, okay? I'm sorry, but it was. So yes, early footage, we all get it, but TurtleWoW did decide to put this footage out this early, so in my opinion, the footage is subject to criticism. So right off the bat, the first impression I got was just how jarring the lighting was in this particular footage, or the gameplay footage. Now, as you were watching it, you would constantly just be like kind of flashbanged to a lesser extent, but to some extent you were just getting flashbanged. And to have that experience when you're just trying to relax and play WoW probably isn't the go. So the only real positive I saw initially was probably the vegetation, I guess. I mean, the grass looks really good, but it doesn't really fit the aesthetic of classic WoW, particularly when it is up against, you know, the original character models, which, yes, they have their own, for lack of a better term, they have their own character when it comes to the universe of Azeroth or classic WoW, but up against this, like, you know, really amazing looking vegetation or grass, they clash. So I watched this live, and at a certain point within the footage, they venture into a cave, and my immediate thought was, oh, maybe this will highlight the lighting of the client. But I mean, yes, it did highlight its the lighting situation, but probably not in a good way. I mean, look at this. Maybe it's cool to see for the first 5 seconds or whatnot, but doing this for a long or an extended period of times just seems visually exhausting. So after watching this, I can't help but think that, you know, what a raid experience would look like with this particular engine. Now, I have next to no game dev knowledge, let alone any experience when it comes to game devs, but running a 40-man raid with what I'm seeing in this very, as they say, an eternal alpha footage, it seems that it's going to be almost impossible to be running a 40-man raid unless, you know, fucking NASA lends you one of their machines. And look, I'm probably being overly negative, because when I covered this on Twitter, there were some praising it, okay? So we'll have a look at some of the people that actually watched this and thought, you know, some of the following. Looks awesome. I will definitely play on Turtle when this comes out. I love all the Blizzard simps melting down in the comments. Losers. And this one, Blizzard should fucking hire them and let them cook for them. So there were some people were excited to see what TurtleWoW had been working on, but unfortunately the overwhelming feedback was negative. Worst thing I have ever seen. This is the perfect example of something that is technically better graphically, but looks so much worse. Artistic cohesion is important. And my personal favorite, at this point, we're beyond suing. They need to be locked up. Fucking hell. So that was kind of what was happening over on X or on Twitter. You know, overwhelmingly negative, unfortunately, for TurtleWoW. I mean, there could have been some, you know, things happening on YouTube that I'm not aware of, or Reddit, where it was overwhelmingly positive. But nonetheless, yes, this was internal alpha footage, and in my personal opinion, it can only get better from here. And that's only if they manage to fend off the, you know, Blizzard's lawsuit, which they're coming hard for them. But both of those things, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, I am interested to know what you guys thought of this trailer. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.